Alright everybody, welcome back to Joe's Corner. Today we're going to make a baguette. What kind of baguette? I don't know, whatever you feel like. I'm just going to call it baguette. Fresh. Maybe, something like that. Anyway, we're going to need 3 cups of flour. We're going to need 2 1/4 teaspoons of yeast. We're going to need a teaspoon of sugar. And we're going to need a teaspoon and a half of salt. And a tablespoon of olive oil. I think that's everything. First thing we got to do is I'm going to get some warm water, warm hot water. Okay. We'll work on this tiny space. There we go. Got our water. Don't spill the yeast. Cover the yeast. There we go. Whoa. Alright. Let's see. You know, I'm going to use this dandy thing. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to add my sugar to the water. And then I'm going to blend it just a little bit with this the name of it just came to me. Frother. It's a frother. There we go. It's got all kinds of uses. I don't really ever use it for frothing, so I don't think of it like that. But I'm just going to go ahead and mix that sugar into that warm water. Because yeast likes to eat sugar. So there we go. Nice and mixed so it's not sitting on the bottom. Got everything on the corner. Let's see what we can do. Okay. Let's get our yeast. 2 1/4 teaspoons of yeast. We do it half at a time, so 1/2, I should say. There's 1, 1 1/2, 2, and 1/4. So that's our yeast. It's gonna sit there for a few minutes. I'm gonna mix it just a little bit. Just mix a little bit so it all gets in the water. Starts mingling with the sugar a bit. I'll pair this with the chili I'm making. It's gonna be good, but you can use it for a lot of different stuff. Set that off to the side, and let's get my flour. 3 cups. This is just all-purpose flour. That's all I got right now for this. So. 1 cup. You hate it when you lose count on stuff like this. 2 cups. It's usually when you get to like 6 and you're like, wait, I need 8? 3 cups. I'll get my salt in there. And I'll get my olive oil in there. How much salt did I say? A teaspoon and a half, I believe. Okay, teaspoon and a half of salt. check. Tablespoon of olive oil. Cool. I'm going to go ahead, and the yeast has gotten a little bit clumpy on the top, but that's fine. I'm just going to pour it in. You can wait like 5 or 10 minutes, it'll get a little more bubbly, but I'm just going to pour it in. I think it's going to work. And I'm going to put this on like 2, and I'm going to put it on for about 6 minutes. We're going to see what point it's kind of elasticy. I might have to use a spatula to get it off the edges to get it started, so go ahead and turn that on. While that's going, I'm going to clean it up. I'll come back to when it's a little lengthy. Now I think I need to get in here. Stuff sticking to the side a little bit. Overall, it's looking pretty good. Looking a little bit dry. I'm going to add some water. There we go, like a tablespoon. That's a tablespoon of warm water. I'm going to do another tablespoon. Bump it up to 4. 2. It looks like it's almost done. Smooth and elasticy. Turn it off the floor. Have it just on stir so it doesn't stick. We're going to transfer it to a glass Pyrex. I'm going to use a glass Pyrex. And basically we're going to cover it with a towel at that point. Well, I need to put a little oil in the bowl. Just lightly. I'm going to brush some oil in the bowl. This is probably going to rise. We'll see how well it rises. I need new yeast. Just enough to coat the bowl. You don't want all this dough to stick. If it rises a lot, it tends to get stickier. So, just precaution here. Just knead it a bit so it's one solid piece. Just making it into a ball. In our oiled bowl. Cover it with a damp towel. I'm going to leave it on the warm stove. So here, I mean the stove's just warmer than the windowsill. I don't want it to get too cold. So I just got our damp towel and I took the lid from my frying pan and I just put it on top just to keep it sealed. And we're gonna check on that maybe an hour or 2 hours from now, see what it's looking like. And then we'll preheat our oven to 475. And I'm using a pizza stone. It's a 1,000-degree pizza stone. I highly recommend it for bread. I just like it. But we'll get a pan of water in there. We'll go over that when we're doing it. So, I'll see you in a bit. All right, so we're back. It's been about 2 hours or so since I let the bread rest and rise. And my yeast isn't very powerful anymore, but it's still almost doubled in size. I expected it to be bigger, but that's okay. So, I'm gonna get some parchment paper. I'm gonna preheat my oven to 475. I'm gonna get a pan of water in there too. And my pizza stone, so I'll get to that in a minute. The bread's not ready to put in yet, so maybe we'll get to that. I'll preheat it now, but I won't put the pan of water in yet. My oven's going to 475. And the bake time should be about 25 to 30 minutes. So I got some flour here. You know what? Work smarter, not harder, right? There we go. Probably a little bit better, easier. I'm just gonna sprinkle a little bit. Doesn't have to be too much. And I just want to gently, lightly take the bread out. Don't want to smash it. And then you gotta decide how to divide it. If we want to do that, we're gonna stretch it out a bit. So maybe right here down the middle. Not quite a bread knife, but it'll do. It's roughly about the same size. And pizza stone's about 12 inches, the one I have. Just kind of want to stretch it. I don't want to smash it too much, but just kind of elongate it. I'm actually making a double batch, so I'm gonna stretch the dough. This is gonna rise again for 30 minutes. Good enough bread knife. Not too smashy. Good grip. So you want long, consistent stretch here. So, gonna pull it out just like that. Push it down a little bit. You want the air to stay in the dough. You don't want to completely smash it. I did these last two better than I did the first two, but that's what happens every time. So I'm going to fold and pinch the edge over here to create some tension in the dough. You just want to really like fold an edge over, pinch it. I'm gonna dust underneath this a little bit more. I can tell the parchment paper is kind of sticky. This is flour the bottoms here. Take the damp towel and throw that over the top. That's not big enough. Okay, so we're gonna let that rise for another 25, 30 minutes. It should puff up a little bit more, and after that, gonna slash the tops of them, and we're gonna bake. All right, so I think their bread's done rising, and the oven is preheated to 475, and I got my 4 baguettes here ready to go in. I'm not sure if I can fit all 4 of them in there, but we'll try. See what happens. If it's nice and even, we'll do it. If not, figure that out too. Oh. So I've got my pizza stone. It's preheated. Slide it out a bit. Let's see. Guesstimate. I think the baguettes will make it. Sag off a little bit. The parchment paper should hold. So I'm gonna close that up for a second. And I'm gonna put this pan in there with a cup of water. So when you get the cup of water, most of the way in first, so I don't have to deal with the water. So that is 1 cup of water. Gonna sit under the pizza stone, creating some moisture in there. Set a timer for 25 minutes. I'm gonna check it, and then see if it needs a few more minutes or if they're done. Oh man, hold on a second. I forgot to slash the tops. Ah, what a disaster. Won't allow them to expand if I don't slash the tops. Go ahead and give it some nice deep cuts. Not too deep, not all the way through, but I'll give you about 4. Give it some room to expand. Maybe a little bit more than 4 here. Okay, now we're giving them some slashes. Maybe a couple more. 6 slashes, 7 slashes, however many slashes. I let the heat out of my oven a little bit. Not too happy about it. Probably take a little bit longer to bake now, but I'm glad I remembered. That could have been a disaster. All right, we'll be back. About 23 minutes. All right, we're at 25 minutes are up. Let's check and see what they look like. Ah, look at that. You got the golden brown top, almost all the way through. You got a nice pinched ends. Ah, that's really cool. I'm glad that worked out. I'm gonna give them maybe a minute or two, and I'll pull them out. Probably put them on that pan. Yeah, that'd be a great idea. They look good though. They got a nice golden top. I'm gonna break one of them off. I'm gonna dip it in the chili and I'm gonna be happy. But we'll just give it another minute here. Patient filming. Patience from all you guys watching. The anticipation. Good food takes time. Let's see. I think that's pretty good. They got them nice brown golden tops. Pan's dehydrated. And we're gonna pull a Mission Impossible here. Try to get them back on to the pan. Oof. Mission Impossible it is. I'll leave that on for whatever reason. Let's reposition. Oh, here we go. This bread's gonna be hot, so I'm gonna put my mittens back on. Let's just crack a piece of that open. Oh, look at the steam. Look at how soft and chewy it is. Oh, I'm excited. Drop it. Nice golden bottom there too. I'm gonna let this bread rest, but there it is. 4 baguettes. Everybody gets their own. And thanks again for stopping by Joe's Corner. And it's a beautiful baguette. So cool. Well, I hope you like this as much as I do. And I'll see you when you see you. I'll see you when I see you. Enjoy.